Hey everyone, thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's when we can relax and craft for about an hour in the evening. And we work through a project from beginning to end. And we are going to continue on the Charming Chevrons quilt by Krista Watson of Krista Quilts. I have the big ironing board out again. We're in my living room here. The front of the quilt is behind me, and that's going to give us a little bit of a size later. We are going to press the back of our quilt. So the back of our quilt we finished yesterday, except for a border. So we need to make it bigger so it can fit, so it can be as big as the front of the quilt. So we need to add a border around it, but we need to measure that. So tonight, I'll first be pressing and then trimming the back, the center area of the back, and then we'll measure. We'll get the measuring tape out and make some notes and figure out how big we need to make these borders. And I was thinking we would actually do the borders tonight, but then I remembered, you know, we're gonna actually have to sew, we're gonna have to piece together pieces to make the border because they won't be big enough with just the width of a piece of fabric. I think we'll probably have to just take down our notes for measurements and then come back tomorrow and cut and sew them and press them, and then we'll come back on Friday or Monday, or we'll see, and sew clip or pin the borders to this and to the back, and then sew it up. So that's the plan. Hopefully it goes all right tonight. Thanks again for joining me, guys. And welcome to my living room. So this is, I got another one of those neat Amish, these old ironing boards out. And hold on a sec, you guys. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I forgot to put my little microphone on, so let's do that. Hey, Lorraine. Hey, Glennis. I can see your guys' comments down here. It's nice to see you as well. Look at this mess. There we go. All right, now we're in business. So I did also get my Panasonic cordless iron tonight, but there's a big problem with it. Look at the base. The base has a big crack going down the edge, right at the crease. Can you see that? I don't know if you guys can tell, but right where it connects to the bottom, let me just put this here, right here, there's a big crack. So I'm gonna have to return this and get a new one. So I'm bummed, super duper bummed, but I'm gonna use it tonight yet, just because I need it. But all right, I'm gonna cover the ironing board here with just a towel, just because I don't have a cover for this yet. All right, so I'm just gonna give this whole thing an iron. We haven't pressed it at all yet. I think we'll go this way. It definitely has the new iron smell, though it's pretty plasticky smelling right now. I know, right? What a shame. I'm so disappointed. But, you know, whatever. We'll get it done eventually. And I gave back the other one to my friend today, so I might have to text her tonight. Maybe she'll pop in here. If I see her pop in, I'll beg her to bring, I'm going to see her tomorrow, I'll beg her to bring the other one back so I can return this. And I'm bummed because I threw away the box already too. I might have to go out to the recycling and get the box. Grr! Oh, what happened? There's a crack in the base, so I'm guessing, you know, there's a big long crack like from here all the way to here. I could probably get by with it, but you know, it's a new iron. It should work. And actually, with some weight on it, I can push it down a little bit, and that doesn't seem all that safe. But man, if they can't replace it though, I wouldn't be happy about that. So I don't know. Maybe I would just end up keeping it. I don't know. I'll have to go through the process, the return process, and see how it goes. But boo! It's bummed. And I just saw it tonight too. I just took it out of the box. Better to return, it won't hold up. Yeah, exactly, Deborah. Oh, Gretchen, through Mass Drop, they can take returns. Yeah, I haven't returned anything to Mass Drop ever. But I hope they can replace it with the same thing, even though that the drop's over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that's the case. So add it to my list of stuff for tomorrow, right? All right, I'm gonna have to trim this a little bit, but so I'm gonna press this whole thing first, and then I'll get the ironing board out of the way here. And we'll just try and trim in this area here. Or I'll move the quilt back a little bit here. You can see I moved the chairs around a little bit. My wicker chairs in back, it's usually right here, but I got a little bit more space to lay out the quilt here. They should send, because proficient it would be, oh, I can't see the rest of that comment, sorry. Yeah, so I'm hoping they'll get it. Get a new one for me. Oh, but did you guys see I put, so usually this wicker chair is right here where this white thing is. This white thing I'm going to move. But I put the sewing machine table out here. So that's that new sewing machine cabinet that I showed you guys yesterday, or 2 days ago, with the new old Kenmore 83. Oh, that old, like that black one, that matte black one. That's in that cabinet there. And I think it's going to work just fine there. It's a little bit big, but I like it. Little table in here. I was wondering where I was going to put it, and it all worked out just fine. All right, I'm just rotating this and getting the other half of it. Is this still on? Yes. So it's super nice that this is cordless, though, even though I just have the base here. The fact that I don't have a cord running to the plug, to the outlet, and I can just set it back in here is just so nice. So that's why I was bummed that it's all cracked up. Oh, I did not get the TV tray set up, but that's a good reminder. It's in the basement. I'll just have to bring the TV tray up. So we're going to want the TV tray next to my sewing machine, probably starting tomorrow, because so I have my table with the sewing machine. I'm going to want another little table here. That's what the TV tray is going to be. Because when I sew, I'm going to have so much bulk of border and fabric that it's going to want to pull to the floor. So if I can prop it up with the TV tray next to me, the TV stand, TV tray, we should help a little bit, I'm hoping. Oh, you ordered the Sew Steady table. Nice, Robin. I'm going to have to check out the site again. I'm scared to go on now on a Mass Drop because I'm scared I'm going to buy something every single time I go on there. Hey, Carol. All right, we are almost done here. And then I did bring a cutting board out here. And I'm going to use the rotary cutter to just trim these edges. And if they're not perfect, fine, whatever. It's if I get it close, I think we'll be okay. The truth will happen when we measure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure both sides and the top and bottom, and we'll compare one side to the other in inches and see if we're really far off. Like if it's 3 inches difference or something, then we might need to trim in a different way, or just do a wonky border, I guess, really. We could just do that. Actually, that's probably the way we'll go. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. But it's going to affect our border measurements. So that's what we need to see. In theory, both sides will be close enough like within like a ½ inch or so. I don't know if that'll be the case. But then we can make the borders the same size and just kind of ease it. So like stretch one a little bit or bunch one up a little bit so that they end up being the same size. And that'll make the whole quilt more square as well. All right, last bit. Alrighty. And we are ironed. So, okay, let's shimmy some of this out of the way. Actually, let's get this last little tiny bit. There's a fold in there I want to get. Okay, iron is going away. Let's turn it off. All right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, there we are. So I just want to trim the edges, so I'm going to just move this a little out of the way here. I'm going to want that again. We probably don't really need that, but it'll be neat to see just how much border there is. It is. It's a jade. We got a big jade plant from there. So that's from my parents' house, and they had it over a couple houses. Like this is jade plant's probably as old as I am, really, or this part of it. You know, so they have a ton of jade plants that just come from jade plants because you can propagate them. All right, let's see what we got here. This is the bottom. All right. Ooh, see, it's much smaller than the other side. You can kind of tell now. All right, so we just need to kind of trim these edges so they're square. And we're looking okay. Just a little bit there, a little bit here, and a little bit here. So, all right, we can do that. Let's, I'll get my slightly bigger cutting board out here and a ruler. We're just going to start right here. And again, if we're not perfect at this, I'm not going to care. What I'm going to do is just run this ruler kind of along this edge. You know, we're just going to kind of estimate. I'm going to just kind of take like maybe the width of this a little bit. There, if I line my edge along there, I think that's going to do it. Yep, just a little bit more. All right. Oop, got twisted there. Shoot. I got off base there at the end. Let's start it from here. All right, there we go, little scrap. All right, that's our first edge there. I think I'll rotate it around so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, let's get this edge here, and then we got 2 more, and that's it. That'll do. So we kind of have to guess here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get another ruler to kind of go up along this edge, then I can make sure that that's square. So give me a moment here. Just to line that up a little bit better. All right. There, see, I was a little crooked. Now with this straight edge, I can bump this ruler up against here. And now I'm a little bit more confident that this is going to be square. Or more square, hopefully. All right, let's do it right there. Okay, cut 2. Let's see, let's go to the cut. This one we might have to do 2 bits. You know what, I'm gonna just rotate a little bit. Yeah, this one's gonna be a little trickier. I think what I'm gonna do is align this square again. Try and get this as square as possible. Putting this on a straight edge. Yeah, this edge I could work on too. Actually, let's start from there. We're gonna make this whole edge just a little bit better. Okay, that's a good start. It goes right up to where I can start being square again, so perfect. Right, like that. I'm gonna leave this where it is, and let's just cut a little bit. Ooh, I'm hair off, but we're gonna leave it. Yeah, I think I gotta scooch it over. It dipped in here a little bit, so I'm gonna just take a little bit more off the top. Which is a little bit of a bummer, but oh well. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I don't know. You'll have to let me know, you guys. All this cutting was never my favorite thing. Not my cup of tea. But all right, we're getting there. Let's scooch this whole thing up a bit. Just gonna go in stages here. All right, I'm just gonna use this as my guide. You know what? Won't hurt putting this back down either. Okay, it's looking as good as it's gonna. Ran out of cutting board again. Okay, one more and we are done trimming, and then we'll measure next. This is like a perfect lap size quilt right now. All
All right, good. This one I can get in all one swoop, it looks like. All right. I think we're square and matched to that edge. All right, and that is it. Good. Least favorite thing done, so that's always nice. All right, let's scooch these out of the way. All right, now we measure. So let me just see. Oh, you guys, just so you know, I'm on my forward-facing camera, so I'm actually flipped. So I am cutting it with my right hand. I'm not cutting with my left hand. Just what you guys are seeing is flipped compared to real life. So yeah, there's no way I could cut with my wrong, my non-dominant hand. I don't think I could do that at all. Ooh, try that again. Okay, so we're definitely kind of a taller look, I think, than the back of the quilt or the front of the quilt. So I'm going to measure this now. We'll measure the top and the bottom and then the two sides. We'll take all those measurements and then hopefully we can just average them so we can make the borders all the same size. But if we can't, we'll just figure that out too. So I got some pen, or not a pen, I got a pencil and a notepad here and my measuring tape. So we'll get as close as we can here. All right. Back onto the floor again. I should get like knee pads or something for this. All right, let's just get that end. Okay. So this is like 48 3/4 or so. Yep, okay. I'm going to make a little graph here. So 48 3/4. All right, so I'm making, so this will be in the reverse too, you guys, but I'm making like a top, bottom, left, right, and then putting the measurements next to it. You're supposed to measure across the middle too. Oh, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that too. Oh, you got your husband's metal tape measure thing. All right, so yep, so we'll get the middle too, just to double check. Okay, we're close, but all right, this is on 49, so we're only a 1/4 inch off. That's not bad. And I think I can get some stretch out of here too. So 49. All right, I'm gonna write middle. We'll just double check here. Well, and that's kind of right in the middle of the 48 or 48 3/4 and 49. So it does gradually just get up a little bit. That's way closer than I thought. So we're only a 1/4 inch off. I'm going to treat that as the same length, and we'll just ease, like we'll stretch the bottom a hair and we'll scrunch up the top a hair, and I don't think you're going to know at all. So good. That measurement's in the good category there. So let's do the top and bottom. Yeah, this one's got kind of a wavy top to it. I don't think that'll matter too much. Let's double check that. Okay, it's just a hair over 65 3/4. Oh, and you know what? I put my measurements in the wrong spot. Okay, let's do that again. Bottom was 48 3/4. The top was 49. This was 65 3/4. Okay, so now this one's 66 1/4. So here we are a 1/2 inch off. I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? Should I be worried about a 1/2 inch, or do you think we can ease that as well? And you're gonna add like 4 inches. Yep, I'm gonna add a bunch. So if stuff isn't quite right. You know what? This side has a lot of opportunity for stretching here. So I'm going to treat these as the same too. So I'm going to kind of treat it as like 66 inches, or like maybe even the 66 1/4, because I think I can pull a 1/2 inch out of all these stripes here, just because it's a lot of pieced together. I'm probably not pulling on it like I could be when I'm measuring. So I think we're going to be good. So yep, so here's my little chart here. So I'm gonna go with like 66 and 66, and then like 49 and 49. I think that's what we're gonna be doing. Yeah, we'll be squaring up when it's quilted. So I'm not too worried about this. What I'm just trying to figure out is I need to cut fabric, and I'd like the top and bottom to be the same, so I don't, and the left to right to be the same, so I don't have to like custom do all these. So I think I got my measurements, so that's all we're gonna need really for tomorrow for the borders. I'm gonna lay it on, well actually we need to know the width of the border yet, so I'm gonna just, for fun, I don't really need to do this, but I think it's gonna be neat. I'm gonna unfold my front of the quilt again, and we'll lay this back section onto that, and so now we'll be able to tell how wide we need our wide we need our pieces, because I think it's a different proportion. So I think we're going to need to go like wider on the sides compared to the top and bottom, or vice versa. We'll see. So let's fold this guy up, scooch him out of the way for a moment. All right, it doesn't quite fit in here, but we're close. It's gonna kind of blend in, huh? The nice thing is with the back, or with the front part of the quilt, we kind of have a built-in grid with all the half chevrons and stuff. Three. You know, this is actually closer in proportions than I thought it was going to be. Oops. There, so you can kind of tell, I kind of laid it out with the, yeah, I could just divide it in half. Yeah, that's true, Deborah. But, you know, I thought it would just be kind of fun. So I have just about 3 squares on either side. So I might just go ahead and make my borders the same size because they'll just bleed off the top and bottom just a hair more, but we're gonna need all that extra anyway. So I'm just gonna do a quick measurement of the biggest side, which would be the 3, and I think these are 4-inch squares, so I think these are gonna be 12 inches. Yeah, so I'm gonna ultimately need 12 inches, and then we're gonna add to that so we have enough all the way around. So let's add 5 inches to that. So about 17 inches. So the all the borders need to be around 17 inches. Yeah, let's, how much do you guys add? You only add, how much overhang do you need? The bigger the quilt. Yeah. Do you guys have any suggestions on that? I was just thinking I'll add 5 inches all the way around, but should I have more than that? Yes, they say you should have 4 or 5 inches on each side. Okay, and it's a twin size quilt, so it's pretty big, so there is a lot of room to stretch, but 5 inches should cover that, right? So you think 4 inches? 4 or 5 inches. So between 16 and 17 inches is all we're going to need. 4 or 5. Yeah, we actually only need 5 on the biggest sides and not even. So you know what? Yeah, let's go with 4 inches. Then we're wasting less. So 4 inches, that's 16. Yeah, 16 inches. So we need to cut 16-inch borders. Let's write that down. So 16-inch borders. So, all right, I got my math. So we should be able to figure it out from this. And the trick is, I think I may have to cut, or we may have to piece some things together. Yep, and I think that'll be fine for seam allowances too. Yeah, then we're just adding like 3.5 on either side. So maybe that's not enough. I don't know. Well, we'll play it by ear. Maybe I'll end up doing those 17 inches instead of the 16. I'll write or 17 just in case. Then I can think on it. But yeah, so we will, I'll figure out how much we actually need for this. And yeah, we're gonna have to measure. Did I not do the length? Oh yeah, there's less for the length. So I'm okay with the length because I can just tell by the squares on the front of the quilt that the length, those ones are going to be smaller. So no matter what, we're going to be fine with the top and bottom with this 16 or 17 inch. So I'm not worried about that. I'm going to just do them all the same. I was thinking that the top and the bottom would be so different than the left and the right that I'd have to cut 2 different widths. But they're close enough that I'm going to do the same. And, you know, it'll all get trimmed off when we're done. So the batting, I'm not going to worry about yet. I'll have to make sure that, yeah, I think the batting is like 90 inches by something. So when we're ready for that, I'll tape the back onto the floor, and then I'm just going to lay the batting on top of that, and we'll just trim. Then I'm not worried about that at all. Oh, am I catching up to you guys? You guys you have to get your back ready because we're gonna start quilting this thing soon. So I might actually start to lay my, maybe I'll wait for the weekend. let's see, how long do we think this is going to take? So we have Thursday. Tomorrow we'll sew the borders. So tomorrow will probably be a pretty short evening here because I can't really jump from the living room back and forth. So tomorrow we'll cut and piece together the borders. So by tomorrow we should have perfect borders ready to put onto the quilt. And we need to measure them perfectly too because we're going to use those as our guides. And then on Friday, we will lay everything back out here again, and we will wonder clip or pin. I'm going to use wonder clips, but I'll wonder clip the borders to the edge. And I might do all 4 at once, although we can't really do that. So we're going to have to do 2 sides and then sew them, and then we're going to have to come back on Monday and then do the other 2 sides and sew them. So it'll be a kind of a short next couple days. Yeah, I think I'll take the batting out to relax, but I think I might have to wait over the weekend. I was going to take it out today, but then I'm like, oh, it's going to be like 5 days or something maybe till we get to it. So it'll be a short next couple of days just because we're going to have to just do a thing out here, and then the next night we'll have to sew and then do another thing out here and then sew back and forth for a few nights. So yeah, so a few short nights for the next few steps. And then by next week, we'll be sandwiching it together, and I'll be laying the batting out. I may not be here on Friday, but I'll let you guys know. I have to pick up the hubs from the airport, so that might be during our time here. So I'll let you guys know about that. But yeah, so back and forth the next few days between here, but I'm digging it. So it's a lot. I think we're going to have the perfect size border around it too, because it's kind of framing all the inside stuff. It'll be kind of fun. Like, this is what it would look like if we did a crazy chevron border around it. I think it's fun. But awesome, great. So we are measured. Julie, I don't have room anywhere else except for right here to lay out the batting. There's no floor space anywhere else in the house except for right here. So this is where the batting will have to lay for a little bit. It might have to get shushed to the side in the evenings, but yeah, it'll have to be right here. So, okay, I think we'll call it an evening. I got my measurements ready for tomorrow. We'll figure out exactly what we need based on the measurements of the fabric, because it's only 42-inch wide fabric, and all of our edges are longer than that. So we'll figure out what to do with that, and we will cut, and then we'll be back down here the next day. So thanks again, guys. I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, and I'll be back here tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So have a great evening, guys, and I will see you then. Good night.